Yo, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully, everybody's doing good today on this Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, afternoon. It is 12:29 p.m. for me, and today we caught a winning trade for $619 on the Nasdaq. Getting closer again to the funded, getting back to the funded, 800 away, basically one trade away. I keep saying that, like, I keep saying we're just one trade away from passing this because I risked heavy on evals. So originally for this trade. I went in with 10 micros. But considering today's price action, which was super, super volatile, and we were just consolidating for most of the AM session in New York, because of that, um, I just wasn't as confident. I should just held with 10 micros, but I decided to take some early profits off as soon as this high got taken. I took off three cons here. And I de-risked, especially after this. What like this wasn't even used. Especially after this happened, I was like, okay, fuck no, like we got to do something. We got to at least de-risk a little bit. So I took off three cons, and then I de-risked my stop loss. I moved it. My original stop loss was, yeah, it was 25, and I'm pretty sure I moved it a little bit higher after I took off three micros. And so after I did that, obviously I was trading with seven micros now, and so it took a lot for it would take a little bit more for me to make 1.3 more, I think, or however much I needed more to make in order to pass the account. And so that's why I tried to hit for 93 points. If I held for 10 micros, would have been a lot less. Maybe I would have, passed my account, whatever. But that's not the point. Today we were able to catch a winning trade because, in my opinion, honestly, I thought the trade setup was there. It was a pretty clean setup, but like in terms of the wicks, obviously in the volatility and how price was moving today, like the environment of just like the consolidation was kind of like the iffy part because it wasn't super clean, but in terms of the model, it showed up for me, and that's why I took the trade, and I was able to make some profit out of it. So to recap today's trade on the daily, just absolute bull. Obviously Trump, U.S. and Iran, the wars assumably ended. That's what the news says, and so stocks, crypto, whatever. We're gonna have a pretty big, nice pump here. But the thing is, it was a little bit volatile today because of that. And so coming into the day, I was pretty careful on whether I'd take a trade today or not. And knowing that we were just pushing up higher since yesterday night, like as soon as this daily candle opened, I was kind of iffy on whether we'd find a setup. But however, we did end up finding one. So obviously coming today, I was gonna be bullish. It was gonna be kind of hard to be bearish. I mean, we have a very nice potential market maker sell model to play out for the rest of this week, maybe or maybe starting next week. But today, like bull power was just way too strong, and I felt like 4 hours we were being respected overnight. Like we continuously make higher highs, and so it was pretty hard for me to be bearish, and I just stuck with my bullish bias. And today I was looking for potential longs if we got any, which we ended up getting. So um to recap, so on the 15 minute, after we accumulated for like consolidated for what is that, like an hour or two, the third, I think this was the third, no, this was the second macro, so not even that far deep into the AM session. The second macro, we take out sell side liquidity here, internal sell side liquidity after consolidation. We have a stop hunt on buyers here, which was the big thing. This was a big thing for me because this tells me that we've taken out internal sell side liquidity, we've stomped out buyers here, and then now we have a potential move to head higher. And then on the 15 minute as well, we also get sort of a change in the state of delivery here. And then another big thing was this inverse for gap. So I had a lot of higher time frame confluences here for us to get to push a little bit higher. That's why I held this trade a little bit longer today. I usually don't hold trades this long, but we have an inverse here, and then we're also respecting this order block off that wick, right? So stop hunt, and then we're also respecting this order block here. As you can see, this candle rejects off this down close candle and respects it. And so after those three things happen, we get an intro sell side sweep. We inverse that 15-minute fair value gap, and then we're also tapping into this order block perfectly, and we respect it, and we're closing above this down close candle. I look for an entry and we get one, right? And so this huge imbalance candle here, this volume candle, creates displacement on both NQ and ES, which gives me a setup and closes past above this previous high, the short-term high, and it gives us an even stronger fair value gap because, like I said, I mentioned this in a lot of other videos. Whenever a fair value gap forms and a displacement happens, like in between, in the middle of a short-term high or a short-term low, and we're able to displace past that and create the fair value gap at that exact spot, the fair value gaps is a lot more powerful than just a basic one. And so as soon as we retrace back into that enter, I almost like this shit scared the hell out of me. Like I said, that's why I took off three cons here as soon as we took this high. I don't know what it was. It was 11:07 a.m. so a completely random time. Um, I just don't know what that was. But we luckily don't get stopped out here. Like I said, 25 points, 26 stop loss. Risking 10 micros. Take off three here, which is seven, and then for the rest of the time, we're just watching the trade play out, and I'm monitoring it, and I'm just making sure that the trend overall here is remain to be bullish. Like the thing about swing trades is I don't swing trade a bunch, so I'm not gonna come out here and act like I know how to swing trade. But the thing is, like, obviously, like the blatant obvious is that you got to be monitoring and making sure there's no, higher time from SMT divergences or anything 5 or 15 minute, like an inverse gap or anything that's on the higher time frame. That kind of tells you price may be in reversal. Because on swing trades, 1 minutes don't really matter. Like this didn't really scare me that much because of obviously we were tapping back into this 15 minute for reg gap. This PD array was able to hold and we were able to displace higher. And now the other big thing is for my take profit. At the start of this manipulation down here, I marked out standard deviation. So obviously this at this -1 point reversal. We're obviously going to chop a little bit here, so I was expecting it, but this PD array was holding, so not too much going on there. Like I was still pretty confident here. The harder part came here, obviously, when it was at -2, -2.5. This was a stronger point of reversal than -1. Um, the -1 point of standard deviation. So this is where I'm kind of looking out harder for signs of reversal, and we're doing good so far. However, after we respect this 15-minute for gap as well, I want us to see this 1:15 p.m. candle. I wanted us to, get a push higher here and close past this down close candle, but we don't end up doing that. And I mark out this order block here that's directly in between -2, -2.5 standard deviation. It's a perfect spot for price to reverse on, and we tap into this order block on the 1 minute, and then we dump down, and my stops are actually placed just at this low, not this low, this the high of this body candle, like right where the 15-minute for ride gap ends, because I really didn't want to see us getting it tested again. Maybe I should have kept it, a little bit lower at the equilibrium body of this down close candle. But I mean, I chose not to do that. And then we just literally get tapped out like perfectly, and then price is heading up right now again. If this hits full take profit, I mean it's whatever. I locked myself out because I was a little bit emotional after after I got taken out and I saw price move in my direction. A little bit emotional, but I mean I've dealt with emotion this entire time I've been trading, and I know what to do when I get feelings like this. Just lock myself out. And yeah, I just go on and enjoy with my day. At least I came out today with a W. I was able to make back my losses and some more from yesterday. Important thing was yesterday a $200 loss basically. Today $600 green day. Losses are always gonna be smaller than your wins. That's how you progress. And this next trade, hopefully, if it presents itself, I'm able to take it today or not today this week. If it doesn't, it's fine. But next target, next trade, I'll hopefully be able to hold for a full position, and then pass my account, and then get back to being funded. Because I know y'all are tired of seeing this evaluation shit. But I mean, I guess that's the main point of these videos is to show you guys my thought process. And despite whether I'm on 100K funded, 150K funded live account demo, like the analysis and the technical analysis is all going to be the same despite what kind of account you're trading on. So got to take that into consideration. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this sort of trade recap on this like sort of swing trade. I'll be back on the next trade recap. See y'all and God bless.